Hello everyone! I've been gifted an early review copy for the upcoming novel War of the Scaleborn. This one is set to release at the end of this month, and in this video I want to do a spoiler-free review, give you an impression on what the book is all about. I'm already seeing a lot of information on the internet flyby around the book, see what it's all about, but we'll do a deep dive soon enough. For now, for those that want to experience the story on your own terms, this is going to be spoiler-free.
You said it doesn't feel like a victory. Not without you. How could you say that? After everything.
So the book, it's written by Courtney Alameda, which I really hope pronounced right. It clocks in at around 381 pages, and it reads, for the most part, extremely smoothly. I devoured it in around a day. The book's description reads, when the world was young, all life shook before the might of Galagrond, a massive primal dragon whose hunger could not be sated. 5 primal dragons rose valiantly besides the Titan-forged Keeper Tyr to combat this threat. Though the fight was desperate, Galagrond fell by their teeth and talons, and the 5 were chosen to become protectors of Azeroth. The Titans gifted Nosdormu, Ysera, Alexstrasza, Malygos and Neltharion with order magic, transforming them into the aspects, powerful dragons with command of time, nature, life, magic, even the earth itself. Other primal dragons followed on their path, and imbued with the Titan's power, the Dragonflights rose to shape the world and serve the aspects. That is the tale the Dragonflights have always told. But it is not the whole story. For as Alexstrasza and her flights set to reshaping Azeroth, not all of Dragonkind sees order magic as a gift, spurning the Titan's interference. A group of rebel primal dragons are imbued with the elemental powers of the planets and are reborn as the Incarnates. Led by Iridikron, the Incarnates believe that Dragonkind should be subservient to no one. They foment a rebellion against the aspects, what they are and all they represent. Despite the effort of Alexstrasza and her primal friend Viranov to preserve peace, both sides slip close to the violence, as dragons are forced to choose a side or be swept up in the growing conflicts. With battle lines and allegiances drawn, the war among Dragonkind shakes the foundation of the world. Both sides realize they will have to make sacrifices to secure the future of their kind, sacrifices that will cascade through the ages.
Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
The book would have been well suited, in my opinion, to go with Dragonflight's launch, and it adds quite a bit of context to what we play through. But I guess that's like production lines for you. Thankfully, it doesn't have the same importance as, for example, a Sylvanas novel had. That book, it explains the motivation of Sylvanas, whereas the game didn't really, and the book, it came out near the end. This book is used more to amplify and add some nice little touches here and there to make a greater impact. The game lays the foundation and the book works upon it. Within the game, within Dragonflight, we come in at a time where the primal Incarnates are already imprisoned, or in the case of Raszageth, they've just been released to kick off our adventure. The war that played out before, their history with Raszageth and the others, it has Alexstrasza and the others worried, while someone like Rephion, they have no clue what to talk about. The War of the Scaleborn has been kept a secret, but is now revealed, like the Dragonhouse themselves. The full details of that history is what the book is all about, taking us back in time to where the aspects just became the aspects. Primal, what we now call proto-dragons, infused with order magic to become the dragons that we know today. But not everybody was down with that decision. We've seen Viranov and Alexstrasza talk with each other about this, infusing their children, their eggs with the alignment of order. It was a step too far. On the other side, how far was someone like Iridikron willing to go to preserve their primal way of life?
At the end, he struck terrible bargains to keep their cause alive. His violent desperation makes him dangerous. I believe the other Incarnates never knew the true depths of his depravity.
It was great learning more about the Incarnates and their relations. It was great learning more about the aspects in their formative years, especially a Neltharion before we knew him as Deathwing. Sadly, not everybody gets the same amount of attention in that regard, but perhaps that was not the point. Cool to see battle lines drawn as well, different races picking their sides. The formative years of ordered Azeroth are steeped in conflict. I know, right? World of Warcraft steeped in conflict, who knew? But it was cool to see how the world, as well as its inhabitants, are evolved under these hostile circumstances. Now, recently, I've heard the feedback that people really miss their war in Warcraft, and for a book titled War of the Scaleborn, you definitely go with expectations. Happy to say that it does prove war in Warcraft does not necessarily have to be just between the Alliance and the Hordes. It gave me smaller War of the Ancient vibes, with the way that some of the battles scaled out. I do wonder if the book isn't too deep though, if it's not too nerdy with all these massive battles. I personally loved learning around 64 new draconic names and seeing about 20 factions or, platoons and war divisions go head to head.
Counted them myself.
But I did have to reread a few lines from time to time to properly visualize what was going on. Thankfully, the author was wise enough to create a proper balance between those full-scale wars and some sick 1v1 fights. They are very nicely described, probably my favorite parts. When I reached the end of the book, I was like, damn, that was it? Where's more? I need more description, I want to live a little bit longer in this time period, but I guess that's a really good feeling to have. It wants you to get more, and I guess the idea is you're gonna get more in Dragonflight. All in all, without diving into any kind of spoilers, the book adds a new story to the lore in a time period which not all the details are known, and it slides in there like a proper puzzle piece, right? It respects what came before, and it adds story to its history. I still need to see if I can figure out some kind of timeline, as there are mentions of periods in time that we know about, but that's for me to nerd out on. It left me with a deeper understanding of the story of Dragonflight without having to carry it on its back all alone, which I think is where the books are used best. Obviously, the standard feedback is why isn't all of this better portrayed in-game, which I agree with. But this is not a review of Dragonflight, this is a review of War of the Scaleborn, which, if you are a Dragon fan out there, or you really enjoy the story of Dragonflight, or you want to know more about early Azeroth, would recommend to check out. Now I can't wait to see more people get their hands on it, dissect it, and talk about the information and the story. But that's for another day. That's for the future. For now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. And until next time, see ya!